Inside Disc Golf.
Hello and welcome to Inside Disc Golf Podcast, episode 19. I'm your host, Andrew Gum, and today I have a very special guest in the studio with me, Seppo Paju. He's a European champion, the junior world and European champion. He's won lots of great titles, including the European Pro Tour's final stop of the regular season, the Turku Open last year, and now he's finished his competitive career, and he's also a partner at Prodigy Disc. So, Seppo, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. How you doing?
Doing very good. Drove from Turku to Seppo, and it was a very nice weather to drive, so having a good time.
Great. Also, really big news recently. You're expecting your first child.
Yeah. June 8th is the time.
That's wonderful news, yeah. And I think as a father of three myself, I can say that it's the greatest thing you can do in life. I mean,
I believe that. I've heard that from many people, and I think that is truly it. If that's what you want in life, then I think that's the greatest thing you can accomplish.
Absolutely. Yeah, you'll find that it completely expands your capacity to love and the spectrum of understanding of yourself and relationships. It's just a whole other world when you enter that realm. And
yeah, I can't wait, because I don't think I can feel it yet. I have to have the kid before I can feel it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way to artificially feel it or to even predict or kind of guess what it might be like. It's something you just have to be there to experience in the moment, and it's completely life-changing.
Yeah, I believe that.
And it's also very important, especially in a society like Finland with a small population.
Yes,
it's really, really important demographically to reproduce and to continue the population growth and
absolutely,
and everything but so huge congratulations for that. And wishing you the best to you and your family.
Thank you
in that regard. So you also, I forgot to mention, you just started a new podcast of your own called Friba Potty.
Yeah,
it's a Finnish language, very popular podcast. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it was very short moment that I decided that I'm going to do it. I had thought about it a little bit and even talked about it to a couple of my friends that I might start doing it, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, I'll do it right now. And then maybe 1 hour or 2 hours after the decision, I had put up my account on Spotify or on Anchor, which puts it on all the platforms. I had done our employees had done the graphics for a podcast, and I had already recorded the first episode in that 2 hours. So it happened really quickly, and I wanted it to be a very easy thing for me to do. I didn't want to put a whole lot of effort into it, but I still, of course, wanted it to be good enough quality that I can be proud of. But I wanted it to be a very lightweight thing for me to do and help people to follow disc golf better. So, but then it turned out more popular than I was expecting, and it's a fun thing to do. But it totally got me surprised how popular it was.
Well, you have a great following, in Finland and worldwide. I guess so. It really helps to have that kind of notoriety.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're also a really good speaker, both in English and Finnish. You're a good communicator, and
thank you.
And you have a ton of knowledge about disc golf.
Yeah, that's what I think is the biggest thing that I can offer, is the amount of knowledge. I follow disc golf closely all the time. That's pretty much the only sport that I follow. And I have also competed in those scenarios that I'm talking about. So it's I can have a little bit wider, spectrum of things that I can talk about.
Yeah, that firsthand experience is something that you can't really, fake that ever. Or only a few people have.
Yeah.
And actually, only you really have the experience that you have. You started at a very young age and incredibly accomplished career.
Teemu Nissinen, actually, he does the Power Grip podcast.
Yes.
He has also a very good career and very, very knowledgeable in disc golf. But yeah, I think I do have a good advantage in that.
Yeah. And I think, I guess what in Finland's kind of a unique culture as well, in the sense that disc golf is so popular here. It's a mainstream sport. So I think disc golfers here have to deal with a certain level of celebrity status that nobody else does in the rest of the world. Like, you know, even say Paul Macbeth, not that many people know who he is in the United States.
Yeah.
But I think most people in Finland know who you are.
A lot, yeah.
You know, even if they don't know a lot about disc golf, you know, because it's such a mainstream sport. So, what is it like to be in your shoes in that regard? Like,
yeah, I don't get, or I don't let it bother me almost at all, but it definitely is something that I notice. Even if I go to a grocery store, I might notice people staring at me. But as I said, I don't let it bother me. And there has been maybe only a few times that it has bothered me. It could be like a festival, Ruisrock, that I went to this last summer. It was a little bit too much of how many people came to me asking for pictures and discussing. And it's difficult because I would like to discuss with a lot of people, but if I discuss with everybody, even for a minute, then it can be a lot.
Yeah, you only have so much time in a day, and everybody wishes to have a certain level of anonymity in life. You know, you don't want to feel like you're under a microscope constantly and feel like people are like studying you or even just watching you. It's an awkward feeling. You know,
yeah. But yeah, I don't think it's been bothering me too much in my life. I would say it's mainly a blessing.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of positive aspects of it as well, and better to stay focused on that and
absolutely
and use that notoriety and respect that you have.
Absolutely.
As a platform for good and as a way to kind of lift everybody up and help make their lives better.
Yeah.
Which you do a great job of, by the way.
Thank you.
In many different ways, you know.
Thanks.
So, I guess so. The podcast just started a few weeks ago or a month or so.
I actually, as I was driving here, I recorded the 4th episode, so 4 weeks now.
Okay, nice. You're doing it weekly.
Yeah, I do it weekly, every Monday after the tournament. But this week I'm actually trying also a tournament preview from the Open that's played this upcoming week. So I think I'll start doing the preview and the aftermath, at least from the biggest tournaments. And this week I'm trying the preview, but I don't know if I'll do that from every tournament.
Okay.
Or for every tournament.
So you're doing it like a combined show, like a post and a preview from the last event and the upcoming one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And that was a hugely successful event, title sponsored by Prodigy there at the Waco Annual Charity Open.
It was,
just finished last night.
Yeah.
Both on the MPO and FPO side.
Very, very interesting tournament, yeah.
Yeah, incredible battles and really, really exciting action there.
Yeah, it was unbelievable for me to think that there was 16 players tied for second at one point.
Yeah,
during the 3rd round.
That's insane. I don't think that's ever happened. Where it's
16 people. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and only for, I guess, the 3rd time in the last, I think, 3 or 4 years, somebody was able to win from the chase card. So that's always exciting when
true.
When you get somebody coming in off the chase. They're on the MPO side and then on the FPO side. What an amazing comeback from the world champion Kristen Tatar.
I knew that was going to happen because she has got the status like Paul Macbeth kind of. At one point it was that if Paul was against anybody, both of them knew what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's like the one that's the underdog knew that, I'm going to lose, and Paul knew that he was going to win. Yeah. So I think Kristen is at that point right now where even if she was 2 down going into the last hole, she probably has decent confidence of winning. Yeah. Because the nerves just get to people and there's no way around it. I kind of knew that Kristen was going to win, and I trusted that even three holes to go when she was 3 down. I thought that she was going to win.
Yeah, she didn't look stressed at all. You know, she just seemed completely calm and in her element. And I guess that goes a long way in those pressure situations when you're not really feeling you know, all that pressure. You know, if you've already got a lot of accomplishments and you already have all the experience how to perform under that pressure, and then it just comes more natural, I guess.
I think she is mature enough that she is able to, play very relaxed. She knows her financial situation. She doesn't have to worry about that. And she understands that if she just plays to her potential, she's going to be up there. And if she was third, it doesn't bother her. If she was second, it doesn't bother her. But she's just so relaxed and confident that she wins most of the time.
Yeah. I was a little bit worried that second round. She kind of, I was hoping she wasn't like, because she recently had that surgery with her elbow, and it felt like she was not quite herself there.
No.
At some points I was wondering, I was just hoping that she hasn't, re-injured herself in any way. But I think she showed that she seems to be in good health and able to close the deal there at the end.
Yeah, and even having a bad round like that and she still won, I think that tells a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. So another thing I failed to mention is that you're a really successful course designer, right? And you have designed the course for the upcoming European Championships taking place.
Well, I will be designing it next month.
Okay, it hasn't happened yet.
No, it hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
So I'm going there next month to design it, and I really don't know what to expect. I know something about the area, but I don't know it fully. So I'm going there and I'll just do it there. So I'm excited for that, but I have designed probably close to 50 courses or so.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Any favorites or any?
Probably one of my favorites is Keinokallio.
Oh, I love that course. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it was great because until then I hadn't really had an area that's so big. Yeah. So I always had to make really small courses, or not like really small courses, but the average length wasn't anywhere near how it's in Keinokallio. And it really is a pro course that you could have any pro tournament in. It's a difficult course and great lines. And it has open holes, it has wooded holes, it has downhills, uphills, elevated baskets, OB, everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. Beautiful property. Yeah. And the scale is just massive. I mean, it takes
it is
guaranteed a few hours to play, and you're gonna feel a little sore.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think even the top guys are really happen to kind of use a lot of max power, especially on that kind of backside there where it opens up.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a big course.
And a lot of fun. Yeah. And Liittonen, did you do that one?
I have, so Nunna is in Littoinen.
Yeah.
I have designed that one. It's my go-to course that I go to all the time. In the winter, especially when we don't want to play the longest courses. And the longest courses aren't even open, actually. But I mainly play in dark in the winter, so short courses are great.
Yeah.
And it's also very technical. Have you played Nunna?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Very nice lines, very tough greens, which makes it more difficult than what it seems and what the distances of the holes might make it look like. But yeah, the greens are the tough part. And also Lieto is another course that I have designed that's pretty close to Nunna. And they are similar. We actually just, at the end of January, we had a Winter Open tournament that I was TD of. We had a full field, by the way, 144 players, or a few didn't show up the last minute, but great winter courses, both of those.
Yeah, that looked like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And those are great courses. Those are really, really nice touch game stuff and nice tight lines in the woods.
Yeah.
Good greens. Also, the Kyrvema course there in Estonia, that's one of my favorites as well.
That is,
very cool.
It is. A few or things that aren't very anywhere else almost in Europe especially. I feel like in the US there is a lot more of grass and forest, but in Finland especially it's very rare to have grass and forest. It's usually rocks and trees.
Yeah, granite rock and the bilberry bushes everywhere.
Kyrvema has grass, which is a nice thing.
Yeah, that looks amazing, and that's the site or the venue for the Estonian Open, which is a European Pro Tour event and something we're really looking forward to. Again, that was a great one last year.
Yeah, Paul Macbeth signed up for the Estonian Open.
That's cool. Yeah, that's great. That's great. He's going to be here quite a lot for the summer, and I think something we might see a lot more of in the future. American players coming over to.
I think so, and I would like to see that, and I think a lot of players would benefit out of it because there are so many players that are really good, like 1020, 2030 rated players, but they have never really won anything. I think it would be a really good thing to come here and battle for the wins. Because it's so difficult to get to that situation in the US, especially on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. So I think that could be very beneficial for a lot of Americans to come here.
Yeah, I totally agree. It would be a nice opportunity for them to get not just a cultural experience by traveling in Europe, but also maybe be able to compete for the win. And when it's like, because on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, there's like really only a handful of guys that on most courses. Yeah. Of course, Waco's a little bit exceptional in that regard. It's a bit more like the European style of golf there, but in general, you can pretty much pick about 5, maximum 10 guys that are going to be in the running for the the win, week in, week out. So I think it provides a lot of excitement and a lot of opportunity to develop your ability to win when you get the chance, to play for the win.
I think it's extremely important that you win, because like Brody Smith, for example, it's going to be so difficult for him to have his first ever win on Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah.
I don't think that's never going to happen. You have to win somewhere else before.
Yeah, that's the thing about entering the game at that very highest level. When you don't kind of progress up, then you don't really necessarily learn how to cope with the situations and to overcome that pressure and to take the win, like you said. But he's a very talented player as well.
Extremely. Huge props to Brody Smith. I think he's done way better than anybody was expecting.
Totally, yeah. I think there was a lot of doubters that, thinking he was never going to be
1,000 rated.
Even close to 1,000 rated or something. Even myself, I was thinking, okay, maybe, but I think it's going to take a lot longer.
I was the same way.
He was obviously very dedicated and...
and of course it helps that he has been a professional ultimate player for years, and he certainly has played some disc golf in his life, and also that he got the start disc golf with Paul Macbeth, basically.
Sure.
So
got some great,
he got a lot of
guidance.
shortcuts, but still very good accomplishment from him.
Yeah, and I think even like some younger players, it might help them to kind of come and test out the different style of disc golf here and to play against different players, maybe make friends, from different countries, and
it would be good for anybody, I would say.
For sure. And I think we're seeing that. We're seeing a little bit more of the cross-cultural era of disc golf now. Yeah,
especially before and after European Open, it seems like a lot of players are playing some tournaments here and there.
Yep.
Like Turku Open will have many Americans. Järva Open will have many Americans. And PCS, of course, it's a part of the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
Yeah, that's Elite Series, and it's really exciting to see all those big names signed up for the European Pro Tour events. Yeah. So really looking forward to doing commentary on those events. Uh-huh. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And very, very exciting season upcoming.
Absolutely.
It's quite compact, the European season. So it's like basically every weekend there's something big happening, and some weekends multiple events. So which we were a little bit kind of concerned about in the beginning, but it seems like they're all filling up with competitors, so it shouldn't be an issue. I guess the more the better.
Yeah, I hope that in the future we are not in this situation though, with having multiple tournaments the same weekend, especially like a pro caliber tournaments. But I think next year we won't have the same situation.
Hopefully, I think it's in everybody's best interest to coordinate that in a way that makes it that you don't have to pick and choose that way, and that it doesn't kind of spread the resources thin for the community in general. And
I think so too.
That we can kind of all get on the, in the same head in the same direction. Have a little bit less conflict of interest with those decisions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's where we're heading. You're not playing anymore, but you're working a lot more at Prodigy in the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on, or what you're doing there and everything?
So, like this weekend in Waco, you probably or a lot of the viewers might have seen the Prodigy 10-year anniversary M4 ad.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I was part of doing that. I did the filming for the disc spinning in the studio. I did that in my own studio. and I did the voiceover, and I've done a lot of ads, like all of the ads for the European Pro Tour. I actually filmed last year. A lot of videos on my own channel, of course, and I'll be filming a lot of videos for Prodigy's YouTube channel. But I'm also part of planning, so many things. Part of the European Pro Tour, Prodigy Pro Tour, our marketing as a whole, product releases, social media. I'm pretty much part of all of that, and we have a lot of sit downs. We discuss what we should do, and it's nice to be part of those. But what I personally do mostly is marketing and videos specifically.
Yeah, media stuff.
Yeah, media stuff.
Well, you're doing a great job of that. That was a really good commercial, and those special blend M4s look pretty sweet.
Yeah, thanks. They are really good. I've been throwing them for a couple months now, testing out the first ones and then the production ones. And they are very straight, so more on the stable side of M4s, which I think is something that people maybe want even, because a lot of the M4s are pretty understable. Sure. And some of the old M4s that especially pros throw, like Cale and Kevin, they have been more of the straighter M4s. So I think it's nice to provide that kind of M4 for the fans, and with the nice plastic also. It's a Prodigy plastic, but it's nothing like we have right now. It's like a really old plastic that we used to make. And we've done a lot of test discs with that. We've done M2s, M4s, and D1s in that plastic. So I think it's a very cool drop.
Nice. Yeah, so they'll be coming out more molds with that plastic for the 10-year?
No, not necessarily all the 10-year anniversary discs are in that plastic, but this first one was. Okay. We do have more of that plastic, so we will definitely make something out of it, but we are not 100% sure yet what we will make. But yeah, not all the 10-year anniversary discs are going to be in that plastic, but this first one was.
Okay, nice. But that was a great commercial. I liked the narration. Thanks. And everything. And
thank you.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, so a little bit more about the Estonian Championships. I think that's like maybe just behind the European Open, the biggest event on the European calendar. And what does it feel like to be a European champion? You yourself won against a really incredible field.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. I was just thinking about this the other day, but I actually have 4 European gold medals. I have juniors, I have Open. And the same year I won Open, I won mixed doubles with Ellinora Heikkilä, or Ellinora Nissinen nowadays. And then 2018, I won Open doubles with Väinö.
Okay.
So I have 4 golds. It's
4 different.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's great. I think it's a huge pleasure or honor to get to design the course. And it's a little bit of pressure as well, because I'm known for course designing, but I haven't designed necessarily this caliber of course before, and I don't know exactly what the area is going to be like. So I just hope that it's an area that we are able to put a professional level course on, and I do believe it is, but it'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and Prodigy is the title sponsor for that event as well.
Yes.
So
yes.
Prodigy doing great things for disc golf worldwide, and especially here in Europe. It's now the number 1 manufacturer as far as sales go in Europe, and sponsoring so many different things, including the European Pro Tour, Prodigy Disc Pro Tour, and I guess what does it feel like to be part of something that's helping grow the sport so much? Must be a sense of pride.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it, because when we started, that was our main thing, that we do want to grow the sport. And props to Jussi Meräsmaa from Discmania, who had the same vision when he started, and that was what he drove for, and we honored that. And when we started, we wanted to follow that and keep that as our main thing, that whatever we do, it needs to be beneficial for the sport. of course, there are some things like at the M4 drop. It doesn't necessarily grow the sport, but while doing things like that, we still want to do things that also grow the sport. I'm very, very happy about Prodigy's success. It hasn't been always easy. It's difficult. Like even right now, we have certain difficulties, but we always have the best interest to make everything good and do only good things. Prodigy never wants to do bad for anybody. But yeah, I'm very, very honored. And we have such a great team, especially in Europe, also in the US, but I'm mainly working in Europe. So that's what I know more of. But our employees are amazing.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well. The team is so solid, and there's on an individual level, everybody's so nice and knowledgeable and hardworking, and then collectively, it seems like everybody really just gels together, and it really does feel like a team. Like that everybody's pulling together and
absolutely
doing things really good.
It's been one of our goals to get to that. So I'm very happy to finally be in the situation where we have a really solid structure in our business, where we're able to provide answers to customers and events and everybody. We are able to, the thing works, because before there was so many parts that were missing. Our customer service was lacking, our shipping schedule was lacking, and all kinds of things like that. But now we finally have a package that everything works. It feels good.
It takes time to build a successful business, and I think you said that doesn't really help grow the sport to like the 10-year release and everything. But I think it is all part of the same thing. If you're able to be successful financially, then that money you can use to further help grow the sport. So it really is all connected in the end. I think, in that way.
Yeah.
But very exciting that Prodigy's in the position that they're in, and the future looks very bright. They have a super talented team of sponsored athletes, made some really big acquisitions in the off season.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, one of my jobs this last summer during I still played was to look out for players that we could sponsor.
Like a talent recruit.
Yeah. So that was like not my main thing, but one of the things that I really tried to focus on, like see what the skills are on different players. And it was an interesting thing to do. And I got to play with all of the MPO players that we signed. I got to play many rounds with Christian, Teemu Talikainen, and Rasmus. And it was great. I'm very happy with the team that we got, and with the FPO players, of course. But with them, I hadn't played so much. But they're both very dedicated. Jenny just quit her job actually, and she moved to Turku for better weather, and she's very dedicated to work on her game.
Great. Yeah. There's so much talent, and it'd be really exciting to see how they perform this season with Prodigy.
Yeah.
And Rachel Turton as well. She's still Prodigy, super
very talented.
Yeah. So new to the sport, and yet already performing at the highest level the way that she is. So another really exciting player to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess of course the players that you already have. So some of the best in Europe already. Vaina and
Lucas, Joonas Aalto. Yeah, great players. Vaino is going to have most of his season again in the US. It's actually interesting. It's pretty tough for him right now in the US.
Sure, yeah.
Playing.
Yeah, but he did pretty well. I think him and Albert were the highest finishing Europeans in Waco, I believe. Or
I wonder who all were the players that were there. There wasn't many.
There wasn't so many, but I think a lot more will be there in Austin.
It's interesting to see Vaino playing in the US more now. It's not so easy as people might think, and even what I thought myself when I was in Las Vegas last year, and I was in an interview, and I was asked about what do I think about all the Finns coming to US this year or last year. And I said that I think we're going to have a lot of great success and a lot of podium finishes and even some wins. But us being in this COVID bubble in Finland and with the spectators and everything, it just started to look like we're the stars and we are unbelievably good. But also, while that happened in the US also, it grew and even more. And the level of players has gotten amazing. So it's difficult, but I think Väinö is going to get the rhythm of his game. And it's good that there are challenges. I think that's the only way to grow.
Yeah, gaining really valuable experience, and you know as well as anybody the challenges that come with touring in a different continent.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things that it takes to get yourself comfortable to be able to compete and perform. You know, when you're on the road like that, you have to worry about nutrition, you know, places to stay, just like adjusting to the different geographies and climates and everything. And then there's maybe another level of pressure associated with the media coverage that they have, you know, with the...
Yeah, and for Väinö, like, he is the guy in Finland. He is the most popular disc golfer there is. And wherever he goes, he is the Väinö Mäkelä. Pictures are taken, signatures are asked, but when he gets to the US, he is the guy that not everybody knows.
Sure.
It's difficult because you're not able to be the same person fully that you're here.
Right. You have to develop almost a new identity or kind of a...
It is. I was just thinking about that while I was driving here, and I think it really is a difficult thing.
For sure. He had some success last year. I think he did finish on the podium at the DDO, right? And and I guess yesterday he was 8 down through 8 at one point. I saw that was amazing. Wasn't able to quite keep that pace to finish, but skill-wise, he's definitely capable of doing incredible things, even at the highest level there.
I think it was really good that he started with 8 birdies. I think that gave him like the check up on what his level is.
Yeah, because confidence boost.
Yeah, confidence boost. Because if it continues on that, you know, I'm not saying that the level that he's been playing with is bad, but it's not quite what he wants.
Sure.
So if it continues for too long, it keeps getting more difficult and difficult to get out of it.
Sure.
But now that he started, I think it was probably the hottest start all tournament through 8 holes. So, you know, it's a really good thing that happened.
For sure. Yeah, it can become difficult psychologically when you know what you're capable of and you know what your potential is, but then when you're not quite reaching it in the moment, then that can become, you know, a difficult thing to cope with, and I think you know about that as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. There are so many different challenges, and mental-wise, it's the toughest thing. I was actually, while I was doing the podcast in the car as I was driving here, I was talking about Evelina, for example. I think she is facing one of the most difficult things in disc golf right now as a professional disc golfer, because she is going to have to face a big issue and she's going to have to figure out what to do with it. And I know those things very well, and I think I have done okay with those. I have done pretty big changes to certain things, and I think that's what it requires. Especially after a certain point, you have to be like, okay, this is enough. I have to now like take 2 months off competing and only focus on this one thing.
Just figure out how to solve that issue, because it's clearly a major problem for her. But I think you have done an incredible job of that. You know, as someone who's been through some putting struggles at points in your career, but you never gave up on it. You've always been able to find that rhythm again. What kind of advice would you offer to Evelina? As a person who's been through maybe not quite that level of malfunction, but like to find yourself comfortable on the green. Like what?
I think she needs to stop competing first of all. That's the number one thing, because that's not going to do any good for her. While competing, you're not able to get better at putting. It's only getting worse, I think, because she's at a point where when she gets to the disc, or even actually after she's thrown her shot and she sees that the disc is in a putting range, she starts getting more and more nervous the closer to the putt she gets.
Right. She's not, breathing normal. She's not in the mental kind of space that you need to be to execute a decent shot, even from short range.
She needs to stop competing. It can be 1 week break, or it can be 2 months, or it can be the end of the season. I don't think that's even a bad thing. I would personally take as long as I need off. Maybe first week, don't do anything disc golf related. Do something that you enjoy and try to just have good time. And then I probably would close social media, because I know that she gets a lot of messages on Instagram about all the different people helping her,
right,
which isn't any help. It only makes it more difficult for her. And then she needs to truly face the issue. She needs to tell herself that, yes, this is the case. I'm doing a very bad job at this, and I need to fix it. And it's okay. You just have to, if you accept the issue, it's way easier to start finding the answer to it.
Right.
And what I have done myself, actually my biggest issue has been in throwing putters and mid-ranges. In 2019, I totally lost my rhythm, and I grip locked everything like 45 degrees to the right. Or if I didn't do that, I early released them like down in the ground. So I think that was closest to what Evelina is facing right now. And what I did was I went into the woods by myself and tried to close out all the social things, tried to avoid anybody seeing, which I think in this point is very important, that you get to work on it regardless of, you do a bad putt. It's okay. You're there by yourself and nobody's watching. No judgment. And necessarily that's not the best way to think of practice, but I think at this point it might be a good thing to do. And it worked for me. I wanted to face it myself, and I didn't want the pressure of anybody, because whenever somebody was watching, I was feeling even more afraid, and that made the grip locks even worse.
Right, it's just causing more anxiety and more discomfort with the...
Yeah, and working on it by herself, I think putting is a good thing compared to throwing, that it's easier to totally change your putt.
Right, yeah, you can kind of get a fresh start.
Yeah, you can do a full-on loft putt with almost no spin, or you can do a full-on spinner from your chest.
Yeah,
there are so many different things you can do, and I think she's at a point where it would be probably a good idea to try out something else.
Sure. Right, you can pitch putt, spin putt, you can turbo putt. You can create a new putt if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're comfortable with what you're doing, and then you're finding a rhythm, right? And but the thing that I find strange is that when we covered the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour Heinola last year, her putting was fabulous. Mm-hmm. She came back from the States. She hadn't competed in Europe very much lately. She came and she performed, almost perfectly on the green. And I believe for one round she was 100% C1X, and she was hitting C2s. And, there looked like there was absolutely nothing wrong technically with her putt. And her putt was beautiful. Yeah. To be honest, like it was like a world-class looking putt, And so it was awesome to see. She took the win easily. And then, she got back to the States, and it felt like she got right back in that groove where she wasn't comfortable. So it's clearly a mental thing. And I guess just kind of hoping she can get to the bottom of it and find some solution, because it's very painful to watch a player of that caliber unable to get the results that she deserves because of one sort of minor aspect of the...
Also, something that I would like to see is a little bit more focus when going to do the putt, because it's not going to help to be quick with it. It might be, you know, I think the issue is so bad that she doesn't want to be there for a long time and try to face it.
Doesn't
basically
want to overthink or feel that discomfort, right?
Yeah. But you need to get into the situation and get behind the mini and kind of start owning that situation and try to get the best or like try to be the, I don't know how to say it, but the queen of the situation.
Yeah,
kind of like
the boss.
Try to
destroy
destroy the bad vibe that is there, and try to really stand behind the mini. Maybe relax her shoulders a little bit and try to breathe a second and really be there. That's what I've done when I have been in a bad feel. I have tried to not avoid doing it, but I have tried to just get myself more comfortable in that situation.
Yeah, and just really embrace it and be present, you know, and understand that it is you that has to execute that. It doesn't happen automatically.
No.
I feel like she thinks it's going to happen automatically from short distance, like she doesn't have to aim anymore.
Yeah, I think
there needs to be a focal point.
Yeah.
You have to really aim if you want to be good at putting. I realized this after a couple of years. I was awful on the green because I was just aiming towards the basket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't picking a point, you know, but the moment I picked a point, my putting improved by, you know, an incredible margin.
Mm-hmm.
Like I realized that if I want it to go somewhere, you know, I have to really look at that spot and I have to like believe that that's the spot that it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And when I did
the
that,
situation with her is probably so blurry. She's not able to focus. And that's why I think it would be important to, before she even is starting her rhythm or the routine for putt, she needs to relax there before doing any of the routine. And because you have to try your best, and if you try your best, there's a way better chance for it to go in. Because in her situation, even if she was to face the situation and try her best, even if it was as bad as some of her putts are, it can't be really worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you can only get better. So by trying your best, you're not losing anything.
Yeah.
So rather try to face the situation and try your best rather than try to avoid it and be quick with it.
I think that's some really good advice. So, yeah, hopefully she can make a lot of progress in that regard.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I guess you now that you're retired from high level competition in disc golf. What does the future look like for your role in the sport? Would you consider ever, you know, joining the commentary team, or what kind of things do you want to do? What would be the best, like the ideal situation of course you're building a family, so there's going to be a lot of focus on that.
Yeah.
But where do you see yourself, you know, moving?
I feel like I could do so many things. I'm only 28, or I'm already 28, however you want to see it. But I think I have a lot of time to do. I could do commentary. I think I will do commentary at some point in my life. I have done a decent bit of commentary actually in English and in Finnish.
Yeah, I really like your work.
Thank you. But right now I think it's, I want to grow Prodigy. That's the biggest thing that I'm interested in. And I actually made a post about a thought that I had, or I put it on my story about working or becoming a better employee, because I have never really been an employee. I've always been a professional disc golfer. So I'm very interested in being better at doing what I do and doing things better and being more or better with my schedules and using calendar better and little things like that I have never had to experience on the same level as I am right now. And I really want to work with Prodigy. That's the biggest desire that I have right now. But I'll be doing course designing. I'll probably do commentary. I'll still play disc golf. I actually, the last 4 days I've been playing disc golf, but I have to take many days off right now because my arm is feeling sore from all the disc golf that I've been playing. But working with Prodigy is the future for now, but many things ahead.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's you're kind of in a unique situation, to be at 28, and in a way, this is kind of like your first full-time job in this. I mean, of course, disc golf has a full-time job when you're in a professional career, but you started your career so young that that was like kind of the whole thing that you've been doing, right? So it's kind of a new chapter.
Yeah. When we started Prodigy Disc Europe in 2014, I did work 2014, 2015, and 2016 until the summer. I wasn't working full hours since I was playing, but I was working also. I was doing sales and packing discs and shipping and marketing and all the things that we needed to do. I was part of all that. But 2016, I decided that right now is the time when I have to focus on one of those two things.
Sure.
So I decided that I think I have a lot to give for disc golf, and that's what I wanted to do at the time. But so I've been basically working for 2.5 years until now.
Right.
So that's a long time ago. So my experience at being an employee isn't very good.
Oh, it's really good, actually. I mean, in the sense that as a partner, you're always doing things.
Of course, yeah.
You're basically almost everything you do is part of building the company when you're an owner on that level. But yeah, I understand what you mean. That it's like now you're kind of like clocking in type thing, and need to be more kind of organized and focused on schedules and deadlines and things like this.
Because before all of the things that I did, or the things that I did between 2016 and 2022, they were like my own projects that nobody else was really involved in them. They were things that I wanted to do and that I was able to do on the side. So videos were a big thing in that. Yep. And I've done a good amount of those, but other than that, it hasn't required anyone, thinking of everybody else, because now I have to think like, okay, this product needs to be up on the website by then. Somebody needs to do the stamp for it. Somebody needs to take the pictures and video and edit. I have to think about the whole package, what comes with the release. And it's a new thing, but very cool thing also, especially with great working friends we all have the same goal, and everybody is willing to help out everybody, and it makes it way easier with good employees.
Nice. Yeah, so a little bit back to the European Championships. I know I've kind of bounced back and forth a couple of times with it, but I think one of the cool things about it is it's being held in Tallinn, the capital city of Estonia. So it'll be really accessible to a lot of people that want to follow it, and disc golf's very popular in Estonia. And I've heard really, really good things about the grounds. I guess I was just wondering if there's anybody that you think might like who do you expect might win, or who are you looking to, or like who do you think might?
Well, first of all, I also wanted to mention that it's really good also for people from Finland to come there.
Yep.
Very, very easy. So if there are any Finnish people or anybody that is thinking about coming there, I really recommend you to come watch. But it's really cool that European disc golf scene is also pretty wide with the top. So there are many people that can win. But of course, I have to give good odds for Niklas and Väinö. Yep. I think they are the strongest players from Finland, and I think by then Väinö might be in his peak for the season. So those two are a good pick, and I think they will be battling for the win. But, Linus Carlsson, I think like Knut Holland from Norway, Jakub Semerad, Simon, if he's going to be here, I don't know yet, but I think he will be here. There are so many. Those are probably the most obvious ones, but like Christian Kuoksa has a great chance at winning. I feel like there are so many names. that could win it. But I think one of the names that I mentioned they have the biggest chances. I think Jakub Semerad is pretty underrated, actually. I think he's unbelievable. And he will probably win something big this year. Linus Carson, I don't know too much about him, honestly, but he seems to be a very good player. Albert, I would like to see like a nice finish from him in a tournament right now. I know he is very talented and he can be very good, but I feel like he hasn't shown very good signs recently of being capable of shooting really hot rounds and good finishes. So I would like to see one of those. I know he's capable of anything. Actually, Silver Lad, I have to give a shout out to. He's going to be playing in Europe this year more. Right. I don't think he's going to play in the US really at all. Maybe some events. But it's going to be very cool to see him back on the European tours. I'm excited for that. I'm not saying that he's the biggest winner candidate, but for European Championships at least. But I think he's going to have some big finishes this year.
Yeah, I think he's a super talented player, amazing forehand and really good skills. He played really well at Toonie. We got to commentate on him. He was on lead card, I think, every day. Yeah, that was a lot of fun and really good. I think there's quite a few Estonian players that are kind of up and coming. You know, some of the young guys like Roland Kuru and Rasmus Metsamaa. A couple other names. Robin Vilman, I think.
Yeah, Matias Villota.
Matias Villota, yeah. I mean, there's a lot, but then I think there's also probably almost 10 or 15 Finns that could surprise the world that way. And
yeah, it's possible.
There's so much depth to the talent pool these days in both those countries and even in Sweden and Norway now. And
Norway has Øyvind Håkon.
Yeah, ton of great players. So it's going to be a really, really exciting event anyway. Something we're all looking forward to a lot.
Absolutely,
it's going to be the kind of pinnacle of the disc golf stream broadcasting.
Yeah, I think it's going to be actually a huge event. I think a lot of people are going to show up because of the location.
Yep.
And a lot of Estonians, but also I think a lot of Finns are going to be there because Finns love to go to Estonia.
Yeah, it's very affordable. It's very beautiful. It's kind of a medieval looking city. It's not that big, really.
No.
It has everything that a capital city, like a European capital, has, but it doesn't have so many people. I think it's probably less than half the size of Helsinki anyway.
I think it's probably
500,000 maybe or something.
No, I don't think it's even that. I think Estonia has 1 million people.
Yeah, 1.5 I think or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it could be close to 500,000.
I think a little bit less anyway. Okay. Yeah, maybe 300-400.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, but my point being that it has everything you could ever want. It's really affordable, really beautiful, but without too much, of the negative things that come with having a really massive.
No, it's easy to get around.
Yeah. Nothing's too far from anything, and it's not very overwhelming as far as population and pollution and things like that go.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a awesome event.
Yeah, absolutely.
And good luck with the course design.
Thank you.
I guess it's right in the middle of Tallinn as well, so it should be very accessible for a large number of...
It is very, They actually have the weekend concert just a few days before the European Championships start.
That's right, yeah.
I think they can fit 100,000 people in the park.
Wow.
by the... what is it? The stadium or...
Festival grounds or stadium thing, Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
And I guess there's some kind of a big, I think it was volleyball, some European volleyball championships or something going on at the same time. Yeah, that same weekend. So there might be a lot of sports enthusiasts.
I think so.
So it could help spread the, and grow the game.
Yeah.
Have it in that kind of a venue.
Yeah.
And time's flying by. We're kind of almost running out of time, but let's give you a chance to talk about anything else or promote anything else, or what is there something we're missing?
Well, I want to talk about Prodigy's disc quality.
Yeah.
Because that's a question that has been around recently, or a subject that has been around recently, and a lot of people doubt Prodigy's disc quality. And I have actually talked about this in a couple podcasts in Finnish, that yes, I do agree that Prodigy's disc quality hasn't been the greatest all the time. But if you get any of the new Prodigy discs, you will see that they are getting better all the time, and we are really working on the flashing issue, and we are not putting out discs with flashing right now. We made the decision. Well, actually, COVID was a tough time because all the customers started ordering so many discs that we just had to provide them. Of course, we're still a business. We're trying to make money. So a lot of the discs did come out with flashing, unfortunately. But since then, we have made the decision that, for example, for the 10-year anniversary disc, we wanted to make the M2, but the M2 is not running good right now. We have to polish the mold and work with it in order to get the flashing problem out. So we are not making it at all. So you might not be seeing certain molds in the stores right now or coming out in the near future because they do have issues. So we are working on it, and definitely are working on the quality overall way more than before. Unfortunately, it wasn't as big of a priority as it needs to be, but I'm happy to say that it is now. And yeah, that's just something I wanted to say because so many people talk about it. And yeah, I think it's fair for me to talk about it as well and give some answers.
Yeah, it's great to address that, and it's good to see that the long-term vision is focused on the quality control and making sure the customers are happy, and that the disc quality is,
yeah, and
top notch.
I can only say that there are very, very cool things coming in regards of discs in the future. So we are working on a few different things and really trying to pick up our game on that.
Yeah, I was really amazed with the discs. We got to come visit the Prodigy warehouse there recently. I guess a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and yeah, it was just incredible what you guys are doing. There's so many beautiful discs, so many kind of cool collaborations with different like high level pros that are starting to get to design their own molds. And so many good colors. Like the Spectrum stuff is just beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, those are incredible. And then Casper had given me one of the lightweight D1s at the Freeba Fiesta, and I was just blown away with that disc. It's such easy distance.
It is.
For me, it's like it's not easy to get a disc to 100 meters. I don't have a super strong arm. I don't have like the perfect form, but with that disc, it's like I'm like guaranteed 100, like with really good control too. I can like pretty much know where it's gonna go, and it's just easy. It just felt easy. It's so smooth, great feel, great flight, just magical disc really for me. I mean,
Sam or Samuli Mikkonen from Prodigy.
For sure.
I was playing with him the last couple of days because Street Team Sweden was visiting us. They also got to go to the warehouse.
Nice.
But Sam took one of those D1s because Casper told that he liked it, and he was throwing it all weekend and was liking it for the same reasons. He throws about 100 meters with a decent shot. So I was also glad to see that with that distance, it works really well. And it got me also thinking that a lot more people should use lightweight discs.
Yeah.
Because they are getting so good. Like before, I remember when I started and Innova was, it felt like it was the only brand in the world at the time. But when they made lightweight discs back then, it always changed the shape of the disc.
The Blizzard stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But the Blizzard stuff, and the bubbles, they're able to keep the shape of the disc pretty nice.
Yeah.
So, and also with the Spectrum, they look unbelievable.
They're so cool, so cool, and they feel amazing. And yeah, like D1's like a really overstable disc, and it does have a great finish, but it also like, and it's not like flipping out of control or anything like that. It's just like a really nice full flight every time.
Yeah.
Like really good touch on that. And then I'm looking forward to trying out some of the other ones that they gave. I just haven't really had too much opportunity. I didn't even bring any discs with me to the States because I had left so much stuff at my sister's place. So I had, and we didn't like have any checked bags. So and I didn't know how much I was going to play. So I basically just kind of put together a kind of a random bag when I was playing over there in Texas. But I'm looking forward to trying out some more of those. Really, really.
My girlfriend is throwing the Spectrum M4, and it's like, well, she can throw it full power, but when I try it out, I can like toss it like a frisbee and throw like 70 meters with it, just like little flick.
Yeah.
And it makes it fun. It's easier to throw lightweight discs, and I think more people should throw lightweight discs.
I think so too, yeah, especially beginners and people with a little bit lower arm speed. I think you can be amazed how much further you can get by dropping 10, 15 grams off of the weight.
There's such a good selection nowadays of the lightweight discs from all the manufacturers that you can easily find good discs with lighter weights.
Yeah, and especially with Prodigy, with that Spectrum. I mean, it's the color burst, just so cool,
Yeah, I think we have about 15 different molds in the Air Spectrum.
Nice.
So, good selection.
Cool. Some of those, it's nice that you're giving some of the very top players the opportunity to design their own molds, like Kevin Jones and Caleb Leviska.
I think it's very, very good that it's happening because they are truly the people that know what it takes from a disc in order to be able to be thrown from a pro.
Right.
And they are professional or discs that are mainly good for people with bigger arms. Sure. But like Cale isn't the furthest thrower.
Right.
So like Shadowfax, that is his signature disc, and the Strider, they are great for anybody. Like Sam is throwing the Shadowfax, for example, and it's a straight fairway driver. With my arm speed, it's understable, but really nice, straight, glidey fairway. And Strider is your like average mid-range straight, pretty fast for a mid-range actually, so you can get pretty good rips.
Yeah, almost like something between a mid and a fairway kind of distance-wise.
Yeah, I would say so. Like a pretty like thick rim for a mid-range.
Yeah, and the stamps are amazing.
Yeah,
I love those stamps. There's such cool graphics. And
so Cale is trying to make discs or give the discs names and stamps specifically of things that don't regularly fly, but in the stamps they fly, like the elephant or camel.
It's cool. A lot of fun. Yeah. And then Kevin Jones' stuff, extremely overstable, but really useful as well, especially for pros. It's nice that they can customize, what they need to compete at the highest level, and then get that made specifically for them, and then people love it. The distortion, that's incredibly popular, super useful approach.
And there's
disc.
going to be another disc coming out pretty soon called Feedback.
Okay, nice.
Do you know what feedback means? I mean, you probably do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with the audio.
Yeah.
When you're having like, it's like.
Yeah, it's probably obvious for you, but when I first heard the name Feedback, I was like, okay, interesting, because I only think of it as a thing for someone to say.
Yeah, giving you feedback.
Giving feedback.
Yeah, it has two meanings,
Yeah, but Feedback is coming out pretty soon. It's something that our lineup has been missing for years. So it's like what I think FX3 should be, I think Feedback is, because FX3, when I see Casper, Sam, or any like mid-level player throw, it works exactly how it's supposed to. But when a big arm throws it like me or Kevin, it doesn't hold. So Kevin designed it to be the professional level of that disc, basically. So we can rip it hard and flat, and it's just going to go straight, maybe have a little turn, and then fade back. And it's a 9-speed. So similar to like a Thunderbird.
Yeah, that kind of higher level fairway.
Yeah.
Kind of faster fairway.
Yeah.
But it can take the torque that the bigger arms are putting
and
on.
Also flickable. feels good for sidearm. You can sidearm it as well.
Nice. Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Another great disc in the Prodigy lineup coming out. Anything else coming down the pipeline that you can talk about or that you want to mention?
Well, the Prodigy Club is hitting European markets in the third quarter. So you can, if you don't know what Prodigy Club is, it's a quarterly subscription box that Prodigy started this beginning of the year. And they are also getting the second box done and getting shipped in the US. But we wanted to see how it starts and get some of our things in order before we start selling that as well. But in the beginning of the summer, you can also get that in the Europe, and I'm very excited for that. We got a lot of good feedback on the box in the US, so I'm excited for that. Also, more of the 10-year anniversary discs are coming out this year. I don't want to spoil anything, but cool discs coming out. They're not like your regular discs. There's always something cool with the discs, so look out for those. And other than that, as I said before, we're working on many different things, but cool things happening disc-wise in the future.
Great, really exciting, and looking forward to all that stuff.
Yeah.
The member thing, that's a great idea too. I think that's a nice way that people can get kind of exclusive special runs and stuff like that. And that, I think that's kind of one of the fun things about, especially for beginners and stuff, is to kind of just try out new stuff, and you don't always necessarily know exactly what you want, but you want something. you want to try different things and figure out what works,
I was thinking that it's perfect for somebody that, they want discs, but that's like a great way for somebody to get all of their discs from. Like, only pay for that. It's €100 a month or a quarter. So it's a little bit of an investment, but if that's your only way to get discs, I think it's a really cool way to do it. And you will get some special discs or only special discs. They are all exclusive, so you're not able to get them anywhere else currently when they are released. We were actually discussing that we might put some of them in the mystery box in the Christmas or something, but they are still exclusive. Good way to get discs.
Yeah, and generally not available in the retail outlets and things like that. No,
special stamps, dyed discs, clothing. Super cool. Like what we do nowadays a lot is double or triple foils.
Yeah, so, that stuff's cool.
Yeah.
I saw some of that up at the warehouse.
Yeah.
Got a couple of those.
Those are... That makes it immediately way cooler of a disc when there's two or even three sometimes. So a lot of those in the club boxes as well.
Yeah, it really pops out in very, very beautiful stamps.
Yeah.
And, really, really nice new feature.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess, is there anything else that people can do to support what Prodigy's doing or to...
Well, I recommend anybody to follow Disc Golf live. You can do it through Disc Golf Stream. I personally nowadays only watch Disc Golf live from either Disc Golf Stream or Disc Golf Network. I think the quality has gotten to what I was always hoping for it to be. And before, it wasn't really even worth to watch live because it wasn't so good. Yeah. But now that it's good enough, I really recommend doing that because Disc Golf is best when you watch it live. So that's something I wanted to mention.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I totally agree as well.
Yeah.
That's live is definitely where it's at.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful to live in an era where the technology provides that opportunity that we can, have live coverage at the level that we do, and that the competition is just getting better and better. It's just more and more exciting, and then with social media and with the amount of people that are into the game, it's almost impossible not to have it spoiled by the time you're ready to watch some post-production coverage. You just can't, you have to lock yourself in a closet and just turn off all appliances and so live is the future of disc golf, and I'm really, really honored and excited to be a part of that here on Disc Golf Stream. And so just getting better every day.
Yeah.
Make sure you go to Disc Golf Stream. And this year we'll be providing separate streams for the FPO and MPO. So we're moving forward, and we're giving more opportunity to cover the full rounds from each respective division. And that's going to be a ton of fun. And we're also offering final round free this year. So we're going to go to what the Disc Golf Network's old model was. Now we've kind of flip-flopped. Yeah. This year, Disc Golf Network is offering the first round free, like we were doing last year. So we're hoping that everybody enjoys that and gets a taste of what it's like to witness the final round of a really exciting event, and maybe they'll be more willing to subscribe and help support what we're doing and help it continue to grow. Yeah, that absolutely. Way. Wonderful, man. It's been so fun talking to you. It just flew by. I know there was some other things I wanted to ask, but we really just did cover a lot, and we'll have to wrap it up here pretty quick, but just want to say big thank you for coming here to join me in the studio and for sharing the time with me, and wishing you the best with the growing family and the new opportunities in life, and thanks a lot. Yeah, thank you. All right, I guess that's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Inside Disc Golf, the European Disc Golf Podcast. Everything about European Disc Golf in one podcast.